I am Judy Lundstrom. We are in Fargo, North Dakota, which is one of my favorite places in North Dakota. I was nominated by my sister Jeannie, who lives in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and it was a complete surprise to get both the email and the phone call about this project. Fargo's a great place to live because it's relatively safe, it's clean, and I've always said that Fargo is a small town that just happens to have about 100,000 people living here. So the feeling is still kind of small town, which I like. I think no matter where I would live, we develop a community of some sorts around us, whether it's the neighborhood or your favorite coffee spot or the church or what you volunteer with. You develop that group of 20-some people that are really your close compatriots for that cause, whatever it is, if it's the neighborhood or church or whatever. And I think it's easy to do that in Fargo. My major direction is a nonprofit organization called Altrusa International, and it's a worldwide organization where approximately 10,000 women volunteer well over 1 million hours a year towards primarily literacy for women and children, but we also work in HIV/AIDS and the environment. So Altrusa International as a whole has 3 major components or pushes, and the one that I'm involved with here locally is literacy. So what I do is work on both a local level and a regional level, which is 7 states and 2 provinces in Canada, but they're not very active. So the 7 states here, as a director, a district director for the region, I work with that, and I work with the clubs to help them generate ideas for fundraising and community service as it relates to literacy in the community. My second major one is I work at the church, and one of my passions is quilting. And so I work with 2 different quilt groups at church. Last year we made and distributed almost 300 quilts for the community. And those went to Churches United for the Homeless, everybody at the shelter, the women's shelter got one. We do baby quilts for the Cribs for Christ for people who can't maybe afford even a quilt. We provide quilts for the community health system where the women are enrolled when their baby's born and they have to maintain this contact with community help to build a better life for themselves and their baby, and we provide a baby quilt for them, and sometimes that's the only baby gift they get is our quilt. So it's a very important tool to help them know that somebody cares about them. Fargo is right along the Red River of the North, and it's one of the few rivers in the world that flow south to north. And so the reason we flood here is because it melts in the south and drains to the north into frozen areas. And so you have continual backup, and that's why it floods. We always flood, but this year was a major flood in that we flooded to almost 42 feet, where 18 is considered flood stage. And the 18 is when the river is starting to impinge on the world, on where it's not supposed to be. And so we were at 42. So that's significant. 36 is considered major, and we were at 42. The other problem we had this year is that we had 2 crests. It crested, and everybody started to breathe again. And then 3 weeks later, it sprung back up again to 39.5, which everybody said, wow, it's only 39.5. Thank goodness. In 97, which was our last major flood, it crested at 36, and we thought it could never go higher than that. I think that we need to give. I think we use the term giving back so much, but to me that really does mean that I am fortunate. I have a house. I have enough to get by. I have my health. But there are others who don't. And so when I can do it and give to others as much as I can at that time, it's important to help. So it's something that I think I was born to, is that I am a volunteer, I am a giver, I am a sharer. This is what I do. You can't force anybody to do anything. I think leading by example is probably one of the best ways, and to encourage people. I'm on the older side of some of the people that I work with, and on the younger side of others, but encouraging some of the younger ones who haven't done a lot, maybe in volunteering or leadership development, is helping them along, being a mentor. You can do it. It's not that bad. Take this little part and do what you can. There's times in my life that I can do more, and there's times in my life that I can't do anything. So to do what you can when you can, and